This is Texans TV.
What does Salute to Service Day mean to Brandin Cooks?
I'm honored because of everything the military has done for our country to give us freedom.
And Texans fans take us into their Houston neighborhoods. Texans 360 starts now.
We are ready to rock in Houston. Rock and roll. Touchdown.
Guess when you think you've seen it all, there's always something else.
Welcome into Texans 360. I'm your host, Deepi Sidhu. It's been nearly a month since the Houston Texans have played at home at NRG Stadium. But here we are, week 11. The Texans are back at home. They're hosting the New England Patriots. It's Salute to Service week. We go behind the scenes with Brandin Cooks. He tells us why this game is so important to him. I catch up with a player the way that I always do with this week's Deep Slant. And we get you ready for the New England Patriots. Of course, John Harris has you completely covered with this week's Performance Report.
It's time for the Performance Report, brought to you by Hyundai. And this week, it brings the hated New England Patriots here to NRG Stadium for the second year in a row. If there is good news, it is that. Now, the bad news is this Patriots team, reconstructed completely from last year, is getting its act together, and getting its act together at the wrong time, i.e. Sunday afternoon, for a visit with the Houston Texans. This team, no longer led by Tom Brady, is led by the hulking 6'6", 250-pound uber star, Cam Newton. The run game, Cam Newton run, that's how their offense goes this year. They're not throwing the ball near as much as they did with Tom Brady, and Cam Newton has only thrown 3 touchdowns all year. The flip side is he's run for 9. The emergence of Damian Harris on Sunday night against the Baltimore Ravens was not a good thing at all. He runs hard. He runs angry. And that's one thing I noticed about this entire Patriots offense. It's an angry bunch in a good way. Physically, they just want to stomp you. And the Texans defense is going to have to respond. But up front with Joe Thuney and David Andrews, Isaiah Wynn, they've got some guys up front that can mash. And that's what they want to do. And now with Cam Newton at quarterback, the talent matches. Defensively, there may not be a guy in that defense you know the name of, but they really can play, and they play very well together. They can play a lot of different spots, a lot of different techniques and schemes, and they do it all pretty well. Lawrence Guy up front is one of the more unknown guys out of Arizona State a few years ago. He has turned into a real star for the Patriots, but nobody really knows him. But against the Ravens, he was almost dominant and had one of his best games of his career against Lamar Jackson and company. This defense held Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to 17 points. Really held it in check. They're good against the run. They lock down at the corner positions with Stephon Gilmore, if he plays, but also with J.C. Jackson. He has been phenomenal. This defense is more whole is greater than the sum of its parts. The parts aren't very well known, but boy, it is a rock-solid defense that the Texans offense is going to have to try and figure out very early in this matchup on Sunday. Patriots-Texans is always a battle. The last 4 have been a one-score game each. This one will probably be the same way. It'll be a bloodbath, there's no doubt. Both teams would like to get physical and dirty up a little bit. But can the Texans offense do enough in the passing game to put the Patriots on their heels? That will ultimately be the key in this one against the Patriots.
Always great to catch up with John Harris, but also love catching up with some of our friends from around the league. New England Patriots team reporter Megan O'Brien. I had a chance to sit down with her because this Patriots team has been on a little bit of an up and down roller coaster ride this year, but what does she expect for Sunday's matchup? Welcome into Enemy Sidelines presented by Microsoft Teams. Our guest this week is New England Patriots team reporter Megan O'Brien. Megan, welcome in. I know it's been a roller coaster of a season for those Patriots. They lose 4 in a row, and then we saw that huge upset victory they had against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday night. Is the mood a little bit more optimistic in New England these days?
I think it has to be, especially when you beat a team like the Ravens. Now, the Patriots were able to string 2 impressive offensive performances together, and I think it's almost as if it's a new season in Foxborough. This win against the Ravens has given the Patriots new life, and I think they're riding that high and looking forward to the next opponent, which is obviously the Houston Texans.
It was really slow going, it seemed like, for Newton early on in the season. Where do you think that he has really shown the most growth or the most progress since his return from COVID and even throughout the season?
Cam Newton has had to learn a whole new offensive system with new offensive weapons, and I think it's just taken him some time. Now, getting back to those weapons, he doesn't have a ton to work with, but I think the chemistry he's built with wide receiver Jacoby Myers is certainly promising. And then Edelman, who's on IR, it sounds like at some point he will come back this season. It won't be this week against the Texans, so you don't have to worry about Julian Edelman. I think the progress of the offense, it keeps evolving, and that all starts with Newton.
All right, so according to our Next Gen stat presented by AWS, Cam Newton ranks second in the NFL with 9 rushing touchdowns. Only Kyler Murray has more with 10. So with that being said, how has Josh McDaniels really adapted this offense to fit Cam's mobility and his skill set?
Well, there's no question they are a run-first offense, and I think you have to pat the offensive line on the back. They did a tremendous job against the Ravens under less than ideal situations there, and they've created the lanes for Damian Harris. They've allowed Cam to run, and I think that it all really begins with the run for the Patriots.
Cornerback J.C. Jackson's interception in the closing seconds of the second quarter against the Ravens was his 6th pick of the season. He's got 5 consecutive games with an interception. That just seems crazy, but it's a new franchise record. What's been the key to his success, and how does he get his hands on a pick every single week?
What's been most impressive about Jackson is the way he's stepped up and filled the void for Stephon Gilmore. The Patriots have been without Gilmore for the past 3 games, and in that game against the Jets, Jackson and the rest of the Patriots secondary did not play well, yet Jackson was able to come up with a crucial interception, and it seems like he's there for all the big plays.
Megan, always a pleasure chatting with you. Let's catch up again soon, shall we?
Thanks, Deepi.
All right, Megan O'Brien on Enemy Sidelines, presented by Microsoft Teams. And the Houston Texans have 3 more home games after this matchup with the Patriots. If you ever want to go to a Texans game, you can still get tickets. Go to Ticketmaster.com/Texans. Coming up, we enter the Deep Slant. That's next on Texans 360.
Only D'Amico Ryans and Zach Cunningham have tallied at least 80 tackles in each of their first 4 seasons with the Texans. Cunningham now has 92 total tackles in 2020. 1,000. Deshaun Watson became the fastest quarterback in franchise history to complete 1,000 passes. He now has 1,009 completions in just 47 career games. 170. When John Weeks snaps the ball on Sunday against the Patriots, he'll have played 170 career games, all of which have been with the Texans. That'll be the most in franchise history and move him past the tie with Andre Johnson at 169. I'm Drew Doherty, and this is By the Numbers, presented by FedEx.
Welcome back to Texans 360. We get you caught up and ready for Sunday's game the way we do every single week. And I get you caught up with some of your newest Houston Texans players, like CJ Prosise. He's a veteran to the NFL, new to the Texans. He's been doing some things on special teams, and now he's on the active 53-man roster. Well, CJ's got some connections with some Texans players that you do know about, and we definitely talked about those with him. Time now for the Deep Slant One-on-One presented by Xfinity. Our guest this week, 5-year veteran CJ Prosise. I've actually never had a chance to talk to you, so we're meeting right now in the Zoom interview. CJ, how's it going?
It's going great. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I want to hear about your season because 2020 has been a bit of a roller coaster for everybody, but you joined the Texans just prior to week 1. You were on the practice squad. We saw your name get elevated a couple of times to the active roster for game day when Duke was out with an injury early. And then now that David Johnson's on IR, you're on the 53-man roster. So what's this season been like for you? You spent your entire career with Seattle, and here you are in Houston.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a roller coaster ride for everybody, I think. It's kind of a learning experience as we go, even with, just elevating from practice squad back down, being cut, being brought back to practice squad. I think just for everybody in general in the league, it's kind of a learning experience just with this whole COVID situation. But I mean, I've actually had a great year here. I've had a lot of injuries in Seattle, kind of messed up my career a little bit. So when I got here and just being around these guys here and just being in the locker room, it's been really great and been a revival for my career, just as far as fun, loving being out there with the team.
Well, you were a 2016 draft pick out of Notre Dame, and we know the 2016 draft class out of Notre Dame really well because of obviously the Texans' first-round pick in Will Fuller. You know him very well, too, as well as Nick Martin. So let's start with Will Fuller, because I know at Notre Dame you started off as a wide receiver. So you two not only were on the same team, you were in the same position group. So what was it like reuniting? You get a chance with another team, and then it turns out to be someone that you were very familiar with Fuller here at the Texans.
Well, when I got the call from Texans, I was going to be signing for the practice squad. Fuller was probably the first person I told. Our relationship going back to college, we were always close. We were actually roommates. I think his freshman year, my redshirt freshman year. So that was the first year we kind of, started, growing our bond together. But we always played, side to side in the field, and just seeing him, seeing the way his career's progressed. Even Nick, seeing how well they progressed here, and kind of just seeing them being leaders on this team is really cool to see, just coming from somewhere else and playing with them before.
All right, so you started off as a wide receiver, and then you got moved to running back. So tell me about that. What was that transition like for you? Was that something that you were expecting? Did you think that was a temporary move? Did you think one day you were going to go back to wide receiver? How tough was it to go from wide receiver to running back?
Yeah, so my junior year I was playing receiver. I had a lot of runs. They were giving me kind of jet sweeps, kind of around the end in runs. And closer to the end of the season, I started having bigger runs and bigger plays. And I think once the season ended, there's a lot of talk about me moving to running back just because we were lacking in depth kind of thing at the time. And our receivers were so deep at Notre Dame. I would have been an asset, but it was at running back, I think I helped the team more. And that kind of, and for me, I'm always just about helping the team win. That was kind of the situation I was in, and it turned out to be the best situation for me.
All right, CJ. Well, best of luck for the rest of the season. It was a pleasure getting to meet you, even if it was over Zoom. But looking forward to seeing what the rest of 2020 has in store for you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Next, we visit a very special fans' Houston neighborhood. That's coming up on Texans 360.
My husband and I have been season ticket members for, actually, this is our first year. We have attended all the games. My husband and I have lived in Spring Landing for 7 or 8 years, been season ticket members for, actually this is our first year. We have attended all the games, and we have friends who are season ticket members, and so we've been able to kind of get their tickets a lot, but this will actually be our first year as season ticket holders. My husband and I have actually attended every single Texans game for the past 6 years. Kansas City was the first game that we've missed in 6 years. It doesn't matter if you're at the game, if you're at your local bar, if you're at your friend's house. Tailgating is extreme with the Texans, no matter where you are. So anybody who's looking for a great tailgating experience, they need to come on down to the Texans.
Texans 360 rolls on. We love catching up with our fans. They come from near and far, from all over the place to attend Houston Texans games every week and to cheer on these Houston Texans. Another guy that's very passionate about the Texans, voice of the Texans, Mark Vandermeer, and he is really enjoying his new duties as a game show host because this week he hosted yet another really, really fun game. He's pretty good at it too.
Hello, Texans, and welcome to another edition of Texans First and 10, the game show that everybody loves. Everybody wants to be on it. So let's get right to it. Our guests today, first of all, let's welcome Kimberly. How's it going, Kimberly?
Hey, good. How are you, Mark?
Doing well. These are season ticket members. And Christina. What's up, Christina?
Hey, how are you? I'm good.
Bob McNair battled to get professional football back to Houston. He was in a tight battle with what city for the NFL's 32nd franchise? Was it A, St. Louis, B, Los Angeles, or C, Let's go with Cleveland. Cleveland. So Cleveland, LA, or St. Louis. Which city was he battling with for the NFL's 32nd franchise? And I think I helped just give away the answer to make it a 50-50 shot. So what do you think?
Los Angeles?
That is correct. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You are cruising right along here to the 35-yard line of the opponent. All right. So Kimberly, your turn. How many Super Bowls have been played at NRG? Now, unfortunately, the Texans have not been to the Super Bowl yet, but NRG Stadium has hosted how many Super Bowls? Is it 3, 2, or 1? How many Super Bowls have been at NRG Stadium? And I'll allow it that it was the old name when at least one of them was played there.
2.
That is correct. Boy, we are just really cruising along here, aren't we? This is awesome. Okay, let's go with this one for Christina, as we have Kimberly and Christina both tied at the 35-yard line, I believe. Yes, we are. Boom. We're getting closer to the end zone here, ladies. All right. The Texans' record in 2019, Christina, was it 9-7, 10-6, or 12-4? 9-7, 10-6, or 12-4? The Texans' record in 2019, last year.
10-6.
That is correct. Woo! Oh my gosh. All right. Big play palooza down to the 15-yard line, right? Don't let me down.
Yes.
Okay. The Texans' leading tackler last year, 2019, was it J.J. Watt, Zach Cunningham, or Whitney Merciless? J.J. Watt, Zach Cunningham, or Whitney Merciless? What do you think?
Whitney Merciless?
That is incorrect. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. And you went first, didn't you?
Yes.
This is for the win. This is for the win, Kimberly. I'm so excited for you. This is going to be great. All right. I can't, boy, this one is really amazing. This is an amazing question. Okay. Romeo Crennel was head coach of what team in the NFL and took them to their best record in the last 20 years? I'm going to give you multiple choice. He took this team to their best record in the last 20 years. Was it Kansas City, Cleveland, or Cincinnati? Where was Romeo Crennel head coach?
Cleveland.
That is correct. End zone, touchdown. Kimberly wins. Oh my gosh, Christina, great job by you, though. Great job by you. And you know what? You're still a winner. You're still a winner. You're going to win an autographed picture of Kiki QT, okay? Kimberly, you win a Kroger gift card and an autographed picture of Whitney Merciless. So you're both winners. Everybody wins on 1st and 10. Thanks so much. So are you going to come back sometime and visit? Maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you, season ticket members, Kimberly and Christina. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you to Tyler and Amanda for helping out. And go Texans!
We salute to service. Next on Texans 360.
You know, to be able to put that decal on my helmet is an honor, and I also think it'll give the opportunity to show veterans, men and women that's out there fighting for them, that they're on our mind and that there's a month dedicated to them. We salute our military is important to me just because I think it gives us the opportunity to show love to our veterans that's out there and overseas that's fighting for our country, to let them know that we think about them. I'm honoring my dad and my uncle who served as Marines. I use them because they both mean a lot to me in the way that I was raised and how they taught our family how much military is important, not just in their lives, but how it should be important in our lives as my brothers and sisters as we were growing up. I'm thankful for USAA to give me this opportunity to represent my dad and my uncle who served in the Marines. I'm honored because of everything the military has done for our country to give us freedom that most countries would love to have. I'm thankful to be a part of this campaign. Come game day, you know, be able to put that decal on my helmet is an honor, and I also think it'll give the opportunity to show veterans, men and women that's out there fighting for them, that they're on our mind and that there's a month dedicated to them throughout the NFL.
Welcome back. Final segment of Texans 360. Brandin Cooks there talking about what the salute to service game means to him. Romeo Crennel, his dad, also served in the military. So a special day for a lot of players and coaches around the league. And you know what? We honor those who serve our country in a number of ways throughout the week. One of them is a really fun, friendly competition, the GI Joes versus the pros. And this year was no disappointment. Take a look.
That's a good return.
We're here today playing pros versus Joes in Madden with a couple of guys in the military. I got a chance to meet a guy from South Carolina who's is a great guy. He got to tell me something about his experiences, with the military and what he do for a living.
I was in the Marine Corps, and now since I got out, I went to college and everything, and now I counsel veterans.
I just want to thank y'all for all y'all do, man. Because this country wouldn't be where it is right now without y'all. Y'all holding us together, to be honest. You can add me. We can play anytime. You just let me know.
I was 2-0, and now I'm getting 1.
Hey, he was pretty good. I just ran the ball on them all game, and I just dominated them. It was more laughter than, just taking it serious, and we just had a good time.
It's coming from a person, a football player that everybody's seen as the greatest. Y'all some real ones.
Well, thank you.
And that's from the heart.
Appreciate it. It was nice meeting you.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you, too.
Hey, guys. It's Tyrell Adams. Had a good day today here playing Madden with some of the military vets. Enjoyed it a lot, man. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for your service. And as always, go Texans.
Hey, that's going to do it for another really fun show of Texans 360. Hope you enjoyed it. Want to give a special thanks to everyone that worked on this show. Tyler Suddarth, Jay McDevitt, and for all of you watching, thanks so much. Stay safe out there. And as always, go Texans.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.